Hey there, folks. It's me, Michael Bach, your diversity dude. Time for another episode of Monday Morning Musings. Apologies for the backdrop. We're getting all new furniture this weekend, so the office is in complete and total chaos, and I'm in the center of it. But it's actually because of something that happened that I wanted to record this Musings, and I want to talk about the Colton Boushie verdict, which, unless you're living under a rock, you know about. And it was actually something that happened yesterday that's kind of got me thinking. And so we were using this company to dispose of a few pieces of old furniture. And I'm not going to say the name of the company, big disposal company, you can guess who they are. And the guy who was picking it up, one of the guys, decided to chat me up about the Colton Boushie case, and it was because the Prime Minister and a couple ministers have come out and questioned the verdict. And he said, "Can you believe this?" And I said, "Well, it's a pretty awkward situation, and there's a lot of racism at play." And immediately said, "There's no racism. There's no racism. This is a white guy. No racism." And I said, "Well, yeah, there has been." And I chose not to get into a debate with this guy about the Colton Boushie case. I suspect he didn't notice the name on the door of the organization, so we'll let it go. But the whole situation has really left me gutted, I think is the best word. The level of racism that has shown its ugly face because of this case, it's really just gotten me very sad. I don't necessarily know all of the details of the case. I wasn't there for the trial. My understanding from the media is that there's some evidence that is a bit questionable. The jury appeared to believe one expert testimony over another, even though there was some questionable information there. And the other piece that sticks out is that it appears that it was an entirely white jury. We don't know that for sure, but that's how it appears. We knew there was going to be controversy regardless of what the verdict was. If Mr. Stanley was found guilty, there was going to be an outcry. If Mr. Stanley was found not guilty, there was going to be an outcry. And sure enough, there's an outcry. But what I heard from a number of people very close to the case who were actually in the room or were participating was that this was a total stunner and that people were expecting a manslaughter conviction. I mean, the guy did shoot this kid in the face. And I don't know why Colton was there on the property. Maybe he was there to steal a truck. I don't know. What I do know is that Mr. Stanley shot Colton in the face. Anyway, not the point. The point is the level of racism that this has shown. And there's such a divide amongst people who believe that justice was served and that Stanley was innocent, or at least justified in his actions. They're the same people that believe that all Indigenous people are alcoholics and that they're lazy and every stereotype you can think of about Indigenous people. And then the other side of the fence is people who don't believe that justice was served and are calling for all sorts of things. And it's just left me very sad. It's just the whole weekend, every time I heard his name, my heart ached. I don't know that there's a final thought with this video. I guess it's The only thing I want to say is my heart goes out to the Boushie family, and not only to his family, but to all Indigenous people in this country who still are facing a completely unacceptable level of racism. And we clearly have a lot of work to do in order to truly come to a place of reconciliation with this country's Indigenous people. So there you go. I hope you have a fabulous week. I'm spending my week dealing with a furniture move-in. Subscribe to my channel. Click on the link somewhere down here, up here. I don't know where it is. And I will see you beautiful people all next week for another episode of Monday Morning Musings.